Hello, dear friends. In this video, we will talk about the new moon, which happens on the 27th of April in the sign of Taurus on the 8th degree. This is one of the most intense new moons and really transformative one because Mars and Pluto, which are currently in an opposition, are also taking part. And we have a Tau square with a focal point, the new moon, and the other 2 points being Mars and Pluto in Aquarius and Leo. So this is a very important time when we can set the tone for something new in our life. And this is something we can manifest or we can start after each new moon, but this time there are important nuances. The new moon in Taurus suggests that we can materialize something. It's about our connection to the material world, to reality, to some concrete results that we can measure, we can see, we can assess. This is not about visions and dreams and fantasies. This is about real things that we can experience in our life on a very foundational material level. Anything that has to do with your body, with your physical energy, with all kinds of resources, especially money, other belongings, everything that allows you to get stuff for yourself in this world. And this is the area, or those are the areas where we can transform something for ourselves. Why am I saying that we can transform it? Because Pluto and Mars are squaring the new moon, especially Pluto now being stationary in Aquarius can allow us to change drastically some kind of social patterns, some kind of standards, or even the group that we belong to. And if we want to build up something new, we have to be ready and prepared, first of all, to let go of the other stuff, the old, the past stuff that are limiting us and holding us back. I gotta warn you that this new moon is also very intense and potentially triggering not only transformations, but also conflicts, some kind of power struggles are highly possible. And this opposition between Pluto and Mars that we are currently experiencing is happening for the third time. In the past few months, it happened once, then Mars went retrograde, it happened twice, and now it's the third last time when we have this Pluto-Mars opposition in Leo Aquarius. So, first of all, we have the chance to let go, to overcome, to handle some kind of long lasting conflict in our life. And if it's about doing something which requires excessive amount of strength, braveness, courage, then this is also a very appropriate time. But again, keep in mind the chances for some kind of conflicts with the outside world are higher. But if you use this to do something that you didn't get the courage to do, or to let go of some kind of limitations that have been holding you back, then of course this can also be very constructive. So from one side, we need to be very patient because this Tau square, let me show you so we can look together. So this is the chart of the new moon. And we have here the new moon in Taurus, 8th degree, Mars and Pluto. All of them are in the fixed signs. So this Tau square is in the fixed signs, which means that whatever process we initiate is not going to unfold like this. It will take some time. It will take patience, consistency, and serious work and effort. So from one side, we shouldn't rush things too much, even though we might be tempted because of Mars, especially Mars in Leo, can be very ambitious, very impatient. I would say sometimes even too confident. So be mindful, be aware of that. Things will not happen as fast as we might want to. We may need to be very consistent and very patient, but the point is that it's not just about passive waiting. Because sometimes we can mix things. We may think that, oh, either I have to rush and do it very quickly, or if it doesn't work, then maybe I just need to pause and wait. None of those are the best strategies in this case. So it's not about rushing for sure, but it's not also about passive waiting. Such an intense tau square with so much energy coming from Pluto and Mars will not let us to relax joyfully without doing anything. If we are passive and we don't do anything, chances are we may feel more anxious, more overwhelmed. We may feel frustrated because this energy is building up inside. It can't disappear. But what we can do is to focus intensely with patience and consistency and commitment on something important. Again, reminding ourselves that it will take a while, but this opposition between Mars and Pluto brings so much energy. It's so intense, so powerful, and can help us to have this energy for a longer time. So, with that in mind, we can really transform things and do something significant for ourselves, something that may have a more kind of like long lasting impact on our life that will stay there and will really change things. Again, especially when it comes to our health, our bodies, our own energy, and all kinds of resources, especially money. Money is something collective. Money is something which is not a matter of, personal interpretation. It's something collective. We need this in order to interact with the outside world, with other people. Yes, also to get ourselves whatever we want and need, but it happens through this interaction with the outside world and other people. This is very important. And now, if you want to change or transform or improve this area of your life, this is the best time and can be very, very, very transformative. The first thing that we need to keep in mind is that it's always about our potential to interact with other people. So if you are struggling in this area or you just want to improve it, look from this perspective. Do you have any blockages? Do you have any resistance? Do you have any fear or just lack of desire to communicate with others or to be part of some kind of social groups or to be identified as belonging to some kind of group? Because all of those things are affecting your potential to earn money, to manage it, to keep it, to invest it, to do whatever you may want and need with this resource. So the square with Pluto, again, Pluto is currently stationary, soon to turn retrograde in Aquarius, and this is also the first planet of the configuration, which means that here we have really, really intense power coming from Pluto. And Pluto is in Aquarius, so very, very deep collective energies. And now we can explore, where do we have a conflict, a gap, misunderstanding, misalignment in some kind of social context that may not allow us, for example, to expand, to be part of some processes in bigger scale, or to attract other people into something we may want to build up and create. So by exploring this and seeing this on a deeper level and potentially, of course, changing this, we have also better chances to build up financially our future in a different way, I would say. So money is currently, I would say, one of the most important topic. And if you want to work on this area again, now is a fantastic time. Mars in Leo is the other side of this opposition. Mars in Leo is all about the individual willpower. So we literally have a conflict between the collective willpower represented by Pluto in Aquarius, collective planet in a collective sign, and Mars in Leo, personal planet, the planet of personal willpower in the most individualistic sign, the sign of Leo. So we can explore and see where is this conflict between what we may want to do and what could be needed for others. Because if you want to expand financially, you always need to think about the needs of other people. They could be your potential clients, potential co-workers, the people you're serving. Doesn't really matter what's your field, but it's always about what you offer others as individuals or the collective, all of that. So we might be able to catch, to notice those gaps. How sometimes we want one thing, what other people need could be something different. And by bringing this awareness, the sun as a focal point of this tau square can allow us to have deeper awareness. In other words, to see things more clearly. What might be missing? Where could be our mistake? What we are not doing right? And where is this gap between our desires and what other people really need? And we can transform this. We may start to search for a different type of balance. Here, whenever we have an opposition, it's never about prioritizing only one planet over the other. It's always about finding the balance, because the opposition is always the two sides of the same coin. So if we, in this case, can see ourselves as also part of the collective, part of society, or even some kind of social group, we will see that there is no clear separation, or we may also say it's there and it's not there at the same time, Leo and Aquarius. And when we can recognize that, the interest of the collective is also including our own interest because we are part of this collective, then we may start seeing things in a different way. We might be capable of providing something more valuable, do it in a different way, expand, which eventually can lead to better results materially, financially, and all of that, Taurus. So it's really the best time to work on financial challenges, restrictions, limitations. And this is one of the interesting topics for me because money is all about energy, basically. Money, it's always energy. And for me, this is very interesting. And I can share with you some of the most common issues I have seen that affect us, like limiting patterns that can stop us from growing financially or having more abundance in this area. One of the first common issues is if we are putting ourselves lower than others. It may happen for different reasons. It might be easier for us to do it this way. We might be used to it. We might be showing someone else in this way that they are important. Of course, there could be many, many personal nuances. But overall, if we live in this small position and there is someone else who is better than us, knows more than us, they are the authority. This could be a partner, this could be a parent, this could be someone else. But if we put them as higher than us, then it's difficult for us because then we are in a child position, not in a grown-up position. And children, I love this expression, children usually get money for ice cream, not much more than that. So besides the jokes, this is a very serious topic, and subconsciously it can be very common. So you can search for this. Is there a way in which you are putting yourself in a child position? This is a huge limitation for money growth. The other thing which is kind of close to this is the topic about responsibility. If we are afraid of taking responsibility, this is always a limitation to grow financially. Doesn't matter what's your current financial status, whether you are earning, I don't know, X amount of dollars per month or 100 by this Hicks, doesn't matter. If you want to grow from there, whatever the starting point is, if you want to grow from there, it's always about taking more responsibility. Even if you already have tons of responsibilities, and generally you are a very responsible person, you need to be ready to take more than that. And this can be scary. And many of us are scared from this. And many of us are limited by this. So if you want to increase your financial potential and potential for financial success, also look from this perspective, in what way you can take more responsibility for your life, for what you are experiencing, for what you are creating, for what you are offering the world, how you're doing your job, all of those things. The more prepared and comfortable you feel to take more and more responsibility, the more you can grow financially. Some other really common topics that, or limiting patterns, could be that it might be difficult for us to allow ourselves to live a better life. And your first response, or at least for many of us, the first response might be, no, no, this doesn't apply to me. Of course, I want to live a better life. And I got to tell you that from all the work I've been doing with other people, I can see that this is much more common than you can expect, that many of us struggle with this in particular, to be able to allow ourselves to live a better life, more comfortable life, more abundant, wealthier life. And this also requires work. As strange as it may sound, we need to learn to allow ourselves to live better. And again, there are, of course, always reasons for that. Those things don't happen out of nowhere. A very common reason for this particular blockage could be that in the past, in your family story system, there have been people who have suffered when they have had more. For example, other people rejected them, or something was stolen, taken away, or sometimes there is even violence, or even more unpleasant cases when someone is wealthy and other people are trying to take something away from them. So such negative experience in the family can also bring this blockage that if I expand and if I'm wealthy, then I could be in danger. Very, very strong, very common subconscious blockage. And the other things are also that the more you have, the more you can lose also. And having more means that you need to think, what are you going to do with this? It's like it becomes part of your field. And you need to be able to hold this field. And sometimes this may feel like lack of freedom. This may feel like, we need to serve this. We need to be kind of like slaves to this. And again, all of this is usually happening subconsciously. So, of course, there are many other individual patterns that could be affecting your potential for wealth, for abundance, for growing financially. But those are some of the really common topics. And they resonate so much with this Pluto-Mars opposition. So if you want to work on this in particular and to change this, it can happen, but again, with serious effort and commitment and over time, because the Tau square is in the fixed sign, so it will not be too fast. What's also very interesting is that Saturn and Venus have a nonagon with the new moon. The nonagon is a karmic aspect, and it's also intense. It's an aspect which brings more tension. Venus and Saturn, both in conjunction now in Pisces, are related to some kind of old emotional patterns. If we have been offended, insulted, if we feel like we don't have what we deserve, this can also affect us. So try to let go of some kind of like old emotional patterns that could be holding you back. This is also a time when we can heal those. Neptune is around, and Neptune actually is the only planet which has a supportive aspect with the new moon. This is called a semi-quintile. And this is an aspect which brings some softness. And we really need this softness with all of those intense energies coming from Mars and Pluto. So there is a chance to heal this, to bring some kind of softness. So it doesn't have to be only through this like too intense extreme effort, and we can also use our intuition and kind of like sense and feel what is the right direction, what we should prioritize right now. But again, the time is really, the energy is really intense. It will affect especially people who have important planets or cusps of houses in the fixed signs. First of all, Taurus, but also Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. Those signs will be triggered even more than the others. But for all of us, this Tau square fits or falls somewhere in our chart. So we can explore where is that in particular, and we can find there if there is some kind of more personal, it's not exactly message, but like direction that we can take. Also, I want to share with you that because of this incredible opportunity that the new moon is bringing, I'm also offering a special package, a special type of personal work for you that is focused on money, personal money flow. There are two options, a light version and a pro version. I will include the links below. If you are interested, you can explore and see if it resonates, if you are ready, if you are willing. But again, my idea is that right now, with this new moon on the 27th of April, it opens up the door for a new opportunity, a period, basically the next 1 month until the next new moon, in which we can use this intense, again, not simple energy, but potentially very beneficial for this type of deep transformation if that's what we really want. So overall, if you want to change something in terms of how you handle resources, whatever this is, it could be how you attract, how much you can create, how much you can keep it, how you're spending it, how much you are allowing yourself to kind of like interact with this resource. Now is the best time. The next 1 month is really great. So you can always work on your own or use any tools that work for you. I highly encourage you to do that. If you want some assistance and you want my help, I will be happy to offer you this as well. So you can contact me or check the links below and see the current program, which is available right now. So I want to wish everyone a happy new moon. Commit to some kind of desire that you have. That's my general advice. Focus on something that you really want, especially if it's something more pragmatic and practical, because Taurus is such a sign. And dig deep, because you can find deeper resources within yourself. You can uncover some kind of deeper potential within you. And this can really change things around. So also, I want to congratulate us all with the last opposition between Mars and Pluto finally. This will be the last time we have this opposition for a while. And we are getting out of the Mars shadow zone very soon. So it's time for something new. And I hope that you will find a constructive way also to make your life better and to make the life of other people better as well. So happy new moon.